we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Listen, you still got some of this R&B carryover from last night, though, bro?
Nah. So let me explain. Bro, woke up Sunday morning and my eye was swole, bro. And I'm like, no. So, and just so happened Monday is the national anthem. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I ain't trying to go out here with no full shades on, like the pitch black, dark shades. Like I'm just out here being bougie. So I went with the ones that's got the kind of the clear tint or whatever like that. So yeah. The boy got the squirrel eye over here, so I had to play it cool and put the shades on, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, man. Let's get that music going, man. We got some things to talk about.
All right, bro.
Let's do it.
Oh, wrong song, huh?
If you smell. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Brotherz YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys are doing their thing. Ace Kennedy. Hey, I got to ask you a question, man, before we start getting into the Super Bowl. Have you been keeping up with this new unrivaled 3-on-3 women's basketball?
I have not.
I didn't hear you.
I said I have not.
Okay. So one of the things that's interesting is that I've been trying to keep up with some of the highlights of it as it come up on ESPN. One of the things that I'm particularly interested in, right, is the one-on-one part of it, right? Bro, they had Skylar Diggins out there going ham on somebody one-on-one. And I'm seeing her go deep in the bag, and it's things that you would never see because of spacing. The girls actually do in the WNBA, though, bro. But I think it is very interesting because it does show a different dynamic of a girl's game. And what's crazy about it is that, I know that some of the play is what it is. I don't know necessarily that it would transfer to full court basketball, but I think it definitely shows the player's range and bag based off of the smaller court, though. And the one-on-one especially, though, it was pretty good, though.
That's what's up. And what is this on?
This comes on TNT, and it's unrivaled. And the one thing that's real cool about it is that it's a 3-on-3 with women's professional, right? So most of the women, if not all of the women, are WNBA, and it was their way of basically having a professional league that was stateside so that the girls wouldn't necessarily have to always go overseas to play in the off season, though, bro. And so I don't know how long the season actually lasts. I actually caught one full game and then saw a bunch of the highlights of the others. But listen, man.
Is it anywhere attached to the Big Three?
I don't know if it's attached to the Big Three, which it would be a good look for them if they did, because I remember when they was trying to offer Caitlin Clark that bag to come on out there and hoop. That would make the most sense that it would, but no, it's not, though. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this, though, man. One of the things that I think that it will show or could show to me, I think this would be a good event for the NBA All-Star to really go ones, to really go ISO, right? And you go as and not necessarily say that it's a replacement for the dunk contest, but in the same way how they've added and reinvented the skills competition, though, man, I think this could be one of them ones, though, bro, when you really get out there and see who really is them dudes 1-on-1.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you want to start with first, bro?
Well, let's get right on to the big Antelope. I could be mistaken. I could be mistaken. I've had this conversation several times with different people. So I think I've been pretty consistent with saying that I think that the Eagles should win, but it was hard for me to bet against Pat Mahomes,
Yeah.
right? But outside of that, I thought that if the Eagles would win, that they would have to win by at least 2 touchdowns. If it was anything closer than that, I thought that that Pat Mahomes would do what Pat Mahomes do. I
Yeah.
was not expecting the route that took place though. So my question to you is this: Hey, Skinny, what were your biggest takeaways from the actual game itself?
I just think that, we heard of the struggles in the beginning of the year for the Eagles. It just showed that they progressively got better. Whatever issues that they had, they worked through them. Whatever issues with the offensive coordinator and Hurt, they worked through it. And they were a complete team. Adding Saquon Barkley was great. Obviously, you knew the receiver was great. Um, I thought that they were calling the game a little soft for a Super Bowl. Uh, but I wasn't surprised by the outcome just because Kansas City has been skirting by a lot of teams this year. It just has been going their way. Um, I don't think that I think these were the right teams to be there. I just think that Kansas City had a bad game, and you just can't have a bad game during the Super Bowl. I was excited to see that Xavier Worthy was doing his thing. So I thought that was dope. And I think that that's showing the bright future that he has for Kansas City because, he was pivotal down the stretch as far as, making some timely plays that obviously they couldn't catch up with how far of a deficit that they had. But the fact that he was even able to catch those balls and put some points on the board, I thought was dope. So yeah,
Set a rookie record for the Super Bowl.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. The game wasn't like when I watch the Super Bowl. If my team ain't in it, I'm there for everything. I'm there for everything. I'm there for the spectacle. I want to see all the commercials. I want to see all the fanfare. I want to see like all the things. It is really. Our pastor joked and said this was an American holiday. Like I'm there for the all of the ish. I want everything. So for that aspect, I was entertained the whole time, for what I got to watch, because there was some lapses in seeing certain things, but for the most part, I had a text thread going with my crew. So that was dope. Like it just ultimately just having an opportunity to chill out and just enjoy football and everything that came with it was dope for me. So
Hmm.
I was straight.
You do anything special in terms of like the party or anything like that?
Well, unfortunately, Sarah's still in the hospital, so we just went and kicked it with her in the room and watched the game on TV and just hung out there. So nothing huge, just hanging out. Me and Charlie went on up there while Carly had to work, and we just hung out at Sarah's room.
Yeah, I didn't do anything in particular. I'm very much like you. I wasn't too invested for some reason this particular time enough to wanna really do anything big. I wasn't really rooting for anybody. I think that I was looking forward to it in different aspects of it. I wanted the game to be competitive. It got out of whack early, right? And so then I was just like, all right, I didn't particularly care to watch it just to see if they make it interesting. Like I said, I think that the Chiefs, to your point, have been kind of playing around, and they just haven't been quite what their record indicates, right? And so don't get me. I just thought that it would took the right team, and it's like you picked the right one. So I think that, or you picked the wrong one to pull that on, though, man. So that was one thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, though, bro. One of the things that I think that I was interested in seeing, though, when I actually thought about it in hindsight, is I was really excited to see Jalen Hurts win the Super Bowl. And to me, the reason why I say that is that, let's just say, when you set aside the Tom Brady, right? It still never gets old to me when I see that, this will be the fourth black quarterback to win. I think that Pat Mahomes had his share of the two. and I don't really mind seeing the variety there. And I think that here in this particular climate of the NFL, where you're starting to see it more and more, I think that there will come a time where no one's counting how many black quarterbacks, right? But until that time, I particularly don't have a problem at all with Steele. So I was looking forward to Jalen Hurts winning only so that you'll have more of a hey, this is a normal thing now. Let's stop counting though, right? So that was the big thing. And I think that the other part too that I was really looking forward to, this is gonna sound real crazy. I was hoping that the Saints would offer Kellen Moore, which it sounds like we will offer him the head coaching job. What I also love the most about it is that the Dallas Cowboys let this man go, though, bro. And I love that he didn't want to listen. It was already one thing that their offensive and defensive coordinators from the year before were all playing in the NFC Championship. But the fact that one of them then got to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl is even that much more of a, me being a Cowboy hater, though, bro. So I absolutely love that.
Yeah. What did you think of the overall Super Bowl? Like just everything inclusive.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Let's talk. Let's talk about the game in itself. I'll say this. I thought that Kansas City was gonna live and die by we ain't gonna let Saquon get off on us to win the game, right? I thought and that worked. They just didn't do anything outside of that, right?
Right.
I like that. I like how dominant Philly's defense looked against them. And it definitely set up the stage to where this could be one of those rivalries where it would have to be a Super Bowl rivalry, right? Because they're a different division. They won't book them to play against each other. So I like the long term. Jalen Hurts and Pat Mahomes are still young enough to where you can see these two as potential teams. What I do like about it as well is I think that this writes in Jalen Hurts in that conversation of those top tier quarterbacks because, as much as I love me from Lamar, and Josh Allen won the MVP this year. Hey, listen, man, Jalen Hurts got the Super Bowl ring, and that to me is bigger than everything, though, bro. So I like that it wrote him into that conversation, though, bro.
Let me ask you this:
hmm?
when you saw him in college, from Alabama to Oklahoma, did you think his game would translate to the NFL?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I didn't, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. It was still new, right? The a quarterback that can run, not a running quarterback. But also, I didn't think that he threw the ball particularly well. I thought that what he reminded me of was a great high school quarterback, right? Where you see these great quarterbacks who can run in high school, right, and throw. They do both. They're dual threats, and even if they're not dual threats, they're a quarterback where I'm not going to just only pass and sit here and pocket and run. And I thought that a lot of times what I saw from him from Alabama, and even when he was at OU, I just didn't think that he threw the ball particularly well. And my concern there is that accuracy is one of those things that you either got it or you don't. It's touch. And so it's hard to me to where I don't see very often. And maybe Josh Allen has came a long way as well. But I, for some reason, didn't see it. But it's only because I had a bigger sample size from him than maybe like a Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen, nobody saw him play at Wyoming or where he went to school at. And so because I saw a lot of him, I don't know. And it's still, I mean, I can't act like I didn't see him get pulled for Tua, right? But I do think that listen, it goes to show how far hard work can get you because he got pulled for Tua. Tua is in and out of injuries, and now this man that won the Super Bowl, though, bro. Listen,
But
I like Jalen Hurts because he's from Texas, though. So I typically like most players from Texas that aren't on the Cowboys.
yeah, but I also though he did throw well in Oklahoma. I have to disagree with you on that.
Well, okay, put like this. I'm saying to me, like when I looked at his ball just does. It looks like a very good high school player. Like this is gonna sound crazy. But I never thought Tim Tebow was a great passer. I thought
Mhm.
he can get it done to win, right? But he was an athlete, so he would be able to win at quarterback. I thought that Jalen Hurts would not necessarily be Tim Tebow, but I thought that Listen, when I saw that he got drafted in the second round, I was like, whoa, I didn't see that, right? So I thought maybe fourth round, considering, I didn't see him coming like this, though. No, no,
Okay.
did he? I didn't see him coming.
That one caught me off guard. That one got me. That one got me.
And listen, let's talk about all the other stuff, though, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that one of the things that is interesting is that, because they were getting whipped, you didn't see very many Taylor Swift pans to the camera. I mean, from the camera on that, you didn't see her as much. I think that the one thing that I almost can appreciate, though, bro, is that here's the thing I think that's interesting, though, bro. What it reminded me of, man, is I saw when they showed when the camera went to her on the jumbo screen, some fans were booing her, right? And she just seemed so unbothered, right? And one of the things that I think that this whole season, oddly enough, made me like Taylor Swift more. I wasn't a fan one way or the other, and I probably will never listen to her music. But Taylor Swift, the person, Taylor Swift, the artist, because I think that to be able to take in all the joy when you're on camera, to take in the booze in stride, and it's like you don't bat an eye, you ain't gonna lose an ounce of sleep. It made me appreciate it because I don't see Beyonce getting that. Like that, I've never seen Beyonce get on TV and they show a bunch of people booing her, bro.
No, but they are quietly booing her.
Quietly,
Yeah,
quietly.
because of course, we've had the conversation about we'll come back to the Super Bowl, but uh Beyonce winning, album of the year and winning the country album of the year or whatever on the Grammys or whatever. Man, it's just been so much back and forth about that. And I had to step back and think, bro. But before I say that, do people is it right for people to be upset that she won in a country category?
Okay, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. You do like. Here's what I mean. If I'm gonna let you. So
Okay.
what do you think first? What do you think
I
first?
honestly think people do have a right to be upset, but I think there's levels to being upset. Like if I were to see somebody post like, you know, I'm really disappointed that Beyonce, who's not a part of this genre, stepped away from what she does, comes and does might be an incredible album to other people, whatever like that. However, I still think it's a slap in the face for her to win country album of the year when you have all these other artists that live in the genre that didn't win. I can understand somebody feeling that way, right? And I'm okay with people thinking that she deserved to get it. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to her body of work compared to the other nominees' body of work, and you say, you know what? Objectively, I think that she had a better project than those people. At the same token, I've heard people say, I don't believe that her entire project was country. I think that there were some pop records on there, or I feel like there were some R&B records on there. So if you're thinking that I don't think this fit the criteria of the genre, I can understand people having that opinion. All of those are valid opinions to me, and there's no disrespect there. That's just an opinion based of objectivity of the people that were nominated with her. Now, the people who I have issue with are the people that sound almost racist with their comments about her doing it. Because I'm gonna be honest, there is definitely a line, right? Because you and I have talked. I feel like if MGK or Macklemore or anybody outside of Eminem, if they won, and maybe even Jack Harlow, maybe. I feel like if any one of them won rap album of the year or hip hop album of the year, we would have some things to say.
I think, bro, you know what's crazy? You got me thinking now about what award Jack Harlow then won, bro. But I get your point. Go ahead, continue. But
No, no,
I
no. I
want
mean,
to look this
that's
up
that's
before I say
pretty much it. I'm just saying. I like don't get me wrong. I know Beyonce was coming from a historical point of view when she did a country album, right? And she even went and got some certain people like Dolly Parton and other folks to salute her with the project that she did. And there's history with black people doing country music. It's not unheard of. But let's
Came
be
from
honest.
us. Country music came from black people.
I get it. But let's be honest. When you think country music, you don't initially think black people. You think Nashville. You think, you think of all of the people that don't look like us when it comes to country music. So you can understand why there's a little bit of gatekeeping from that perspective. Okay, just like R&B, you think black people, right? You think black people and you think R&B. When you think rap, you immediately think black people. So if somebody that don't look like you steps into that territory, you get territorial about it. But it's like I said,
So you're saying okay. So you're looking at it like this. From a country music perspective, there's country music culture, a country culture, the same way how for us there's black culture, and then there's hip hop that's a part mover within black community, black culture. But within, I don't know if there's white culture and then there's country. But I do think country is its own culture
I do.
within American culture. I think so.
Right. And so the thing is that anytime you have somebody that, like, we call it appropriations, right? Like when you come and dip into our culture and try to do something and then try to do it at a high level better than us, you feel some type of way, right? So I'm
It
looking
feels
at
almost like you cosplaying one of us, and I think that
exactly.
that's where. So okay. Here's what this is my only argument to that is this, right? If it's not about race, right? Because like you said, sometimes they make it seem about race.
That's
I
the way
need
it
you to
feels.
have that. Yes, it feels that way, and I know exactly the feeling you're talking about. But that I need you to have that same energy for Post Malone, right? When Post Malone comes out here and does a whole country album, and he's not a country artist, but you and I talk, and Post Malone, he makes great music, right? Great music, but he's not a country artist. But when he comes in and taps into that, and if for some reason, if in that particular year that Post Malone puts his country music album out, right? And then, and I'm only saying, I'm just talking hypothetically, even though we can talk specifically, but this is within the same window he put out his as Beyonce. But let's just say in a separate year that Keith Urban and Kane and
Right.
all these other, yeah, all that Luke Bryan, all of these traditional country powerhouse artists, if in that particular year they put out their albums, right, and they are mainstays within country music, and here comes Post Malone, who puts out an incredible country music to, by all accounts, to a musician. This is an incredible album, an incredible country album, right? It's an incredible work, and it is a country album, right? And he wins. If you got a problem with Post Malone winning, then I would understand if you have a problem with Beyonce winning. But if you don't have a problem with Post Malone winning, get out of my face when it comes to Beyonce.
See, that's the
Because I
thing,
think
right?
that
Because there were some people that wouldn't even that didn't want to work. Like Beyonce reached out to artists and they didn't even want to work with her, but they worked with Post.
yes, yes. Well, it's why I think that here's where I think that this is what makes me feel some kind of way when it comes to Beyonce and the country music because it's like, well, let's just say that's Beyonce. Like why y'all don't why we look at Shabuzi a little different then? Like like he's never tried to come across like he is hip hop. He might got a little bit of hip hop swag, but his thing is country music, and he's never tried to be anything outside of that, though, right? But
I
I
think
don't
that
think that they'll ever. I don't know that they'll accept him. And he's only wants to be a country artist. And maybe he might sing some other stuff or do whatever. But he is a country artist, though, bro. And so I'm thinking, like, if you want me to say that it's not about race, then I don't see that they're as inclusive of Shabuzi, who is a popular black country artist, though.
that's true,
Like,
and that was what I was gonna say because I think it was like the end of 24 or something. He didn't win an award at the CMAs, right? And,
Yes.
and his song had been blazing on the charts, this, that, and the other, but still didn't
Right.
win the award. So of course people were definitely looking at race being a factor. But like you said, I think that is one of the issues though, that Beyonce was popular in a completely different genre, and then for her to come into it
Yes.
and do country music, people had issues. This is almost the same when Miley Cyrus decided to step into a little more hip hop versed album where she had what's his name then producing for her.
Mike Will.
Yeah. People had issues with that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's what I'm saying. This is what I would have an issue. Let's just say, some boy who everybody loves, the country guy that be on The
Chris
Voice.
Stapleton? Oh, no.
No,
You talking about married to what's her face?
Gwen Stefani's husband.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I can't.
I know his face. And everybody likes him as a person, right? Everybody. I've never met anybody who said I can't stand his face, bro. He's a very
Right.
likable person. But hypothetically speaking, right? If he got with Pharrell, right, and he said, Pharrell, you know what, bro? I want to record an all R&B album, not country.
Blake
I don't
Shelton.
want to do. I don't even want to. Blake Shelton. That's what it is. He said, I don't even want to do country roles. I want to do an R&B album, all the way R&B. And it's produced by Pharrell, entirely by Pharrell. And it comes out and it's fire, right? In today, right? In a time where I'm not gonna say, I think R&B is still coming back, but it's not unthinkable that somebody from the outside can come out now and put out an incredible R&B album that might be better than a lot. Because if I'm being honest, I mean the recent great R&B albums have been Victoria Monet, Money Long, um, who else am I missing?
Tank.
But Tank's done though, right? He's retired though.
No, he ain't retired.
Chris Brown. But Chris Brown's last album was mainly sounding Afrobeat kind of, right?
Neo had a great. Yeah.
Neo did have a great one. But even though Neo had a great one, I can see Blake Shelton putting together a bunch of top flight R&B producers and having an album that's better than Neo's album. Now, if it would be better than Victoria Monet's or better than Money Long, maybe I don't know about that. I can see him saying, I can get with some of the Usher producers and songwriters and doing it. But with that being said, Doug, I honestly believe though, man, that if Blake Shelton caught R&B slipping 1 year, that I think he could come out and win R&B album of the year. And if he did, I think some black people would lose their mind, especially R&B artists, because I know that they would still appreciate the musicianship and appreciate the overall totality of the project. Then they would be like, hold on now,
Yes.
because you
Tyrese would be the first one to hit, but
oh yeah. So listen, so I understand though that if you are somebody who is an R&B purist, right, or a country music purist, and you say Beyonce is not one of us, so how can she win an award that's for us by us? It would be almost like in that scenario happening. Somebody who is a country music artist coming out and winning the BET award, right? It's
Right.
like it's not gonna happen without people having something to say about it.
right. Did you watch this? Did you watch the national anthem in the America the Beautiful?
No, actually, oddly enough, I was running late to get home.
Same. I was just trying to make sure because I didn't get to see him, but I heard a lot of people didn't like it.
Now listen. Jasmine Sullivan last year is going to be hard to top for me because when she did it, it was one of the best I've ever heard. Right? To me, it automatically went top 5. And it might even be like number 2 behind Whitney Houston to me. So I don't know who. It was Jasmine Sullivan and somebody else. Was it her? Jasmine Sullivan and her, I believe, did them last year.
Yeah.
And both of them, top 5, all time though, right? So
Right.
I don't know. I was running late and I didn't get a chance to catch it.
Okay. Did you watch the halftime show?
You gonna get you gonna listen. You about to get us sued on here, bro. You about to get us sued. You about to get us sued, bro. You trying to get us sued?
Hey, that's less than 10 seconds, bro. That's less than
Hey,
10
listen,
seconds.
bro. Listen. Oh my gosh, man. Listen, I'm sure, bro, that listen, right about now, I think what Drake can't wait for is for March to hurry up and get here, bro. Because if you think about it, as an artist, right? The big pay days, right, in terms of you being entertaining, is a couple things, right? You got the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You got the Super Bowl. You got the All Star game. You got NAIA out in Charlotte, and then you have a break from like March all the way until like maybe April. Then you got a lot of the outdoor festivals starting to pick back up. But you Drake, you were like, bro, I can't wait till to that season is over with because it's almost like Groundhog's Day for him. It feels like every time he's reliving another moment where he is just the butt of jokes that he'll never be able to outlive.
Yeah, but part of it is his fault because he brought it back up with the lawsuit. So
Yeah.
that's reigniting it. That was its own set.
It made it worse. It made it worse.
Yeah, but then on top of that, I don't know that March is safe for him because if March Madness comes and they playing that song,
Yeah, but I mean, you're right on that. But I think that I'm thinking in terms of for artists, these are the big seasons, right? For when you're doing live performances and the big events. But yeah, I forgot about March Madness. So you're right though, man. He might listen, man, bro. Listen, this is what I am one. You and I talk about this all the time. Where is the hit? Like I understand that you responded back that you show you can rap, right? You can and listen, for all intents and purposes, Drake showed that he can make a song and go back and forth with them. That's a great song. It's some of the best rapping I've heard from Drake in some time. But where is the hit? Where is the follow up? And I think that that's where Kendrick deaded the whole thing because he had the hit. So I'm thinking, like, if Drake, if you want us to not necessarily move on past it, like, where's your offering, bro?
well, a couple of things. He just wasn't gonna win this round. When you got a man that won 5 Grammys and then turn around and performed at the Super Bowl, and on top of that had a Juneteenth celebration where they sang the song 5 times, you weren't gonna win that. You just weren't. But the answer to your question, he is dropping music on Valentine's Day. Well, no, I'm sorry. Party is dropping music on Valentine's Day featuring Drake. Their album is coming out. For legalities, it's not allowed to be a Drake and Party album. It has to be Party featuring Drake. Otherwise, the music wouldn't be able to come out
Why wouldn't the music be able to come out?
because he's in a lawsuit against his label. So he's unable to release music currently. So to circumvent that, Party is releasing an album featuring Drake on
Listen,
Valentine's Day.
here's the thing I think this is the thing I think that's crazy about this, bro. It doesn't matter. I don't listen. Unless you're telling me that the song, the leading single from Party Next Door and Drake is the one that's gonna top the charts, bro. Like, no, you're not. Like, where are my thing is that where are the hits? Like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate that he's dropped some music, and you do that to keep some of your diehard fans still actively listening to your music. But, bro, where are the God's plans? The I didn't think that first person shooter was that, but where are the club hits though, bro? It used to be right that Drake would be able to ride somebody else's feature, and then they put that song out, and it's the song, right? It's the new artist that has a Drake feature, but I'm saying, where is the hit though, bro?
No, I
I
get
know
that.
he got a.
Well, that's the thing though. It doesn't matter. Listen, even if the Party and Drake records are fire. It's not a response. It's not going to be a response to Kendrick. And that's what people want to hear, right? So it's going to be like, bro, forget all this singing and all this lovey-dovey stuff you trying to do for Valentine's Day. Where is the response? Like,
I don't got to hear him. He don't got to respond. This is the thing. I don't think that he even has to respond. I don't want to hear him respond.
I don't either.
I want to know that I want to know.
He can still
I
make
want to
great music.
know that you can still make great music. And that to me is the thing. Like, I think he's been so busy responding that he got away from the great to putting the hits out though, bro. So, but with that being said though, bro, I thought that listen, the halftime show for me was absolutely incredible.
Mhm.
But this is the weird part about it though. It's incredible to me because I'm a fan of Kendrick. I told you before, it's not out the realm that I think he's probably number 2 all time rapper, right? I think I hold him in that regards, right? I got him number 2 behind Jay-Z. I had a conversation with somebody who's never really listened to Kendrick, right? Uh, uh, I would say one of my OGs. And I said, yeah, I've been a fan since the first time I heard him. And the first time I heard him, I heard a classic album. The same way how somebody heard Jay-Z the very first time and they heard Reasonable Doubts and that was their thing. I said the difference to me is that I've only heard great music from Kendrick, right?
Right.
And while I've only heard some great music from Jay-Z, there's some albums that maybe not somebody's favorites, right?
Right.
But I think that when it comes down to Kendrick though, bro, I think that one of the things that I thought was great is that for a fan, it was everything that I was looking for. But
Okay.
this particular person who didn't really get into Kendrick was like, I thought it was whack. I thought it was boring. I don't get Kendrick, right? And I was very surprised that apparently that there are more people who are just like, all right, well, They Not Like Us was the Kendrick song that they identify with. So never mind the other songs that a fan likes, like that was their one. So when they heard all these other ones, it was just like, all right, well, you're basing your performance around, are you gonna play? Are you gonna do that song? Are you gonna do that song? And so to them, it's like, oh, he's the guy that dissed Drake basically, though, and got away with it, though, not all this other Pulitzer Prize winning work and all this other stuff, though, man. So I thought
That's
it was dope, though, man.
that's to be expected though. But I mean, and again, this was another one of those conversations that got a little racial uh on my timeline because it's like it
Mhm.
felt like most people that had issues with the halftime show unfortunately were white. And now there was some black people on there. I'm not even gonna front like that wasn't the case. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying
yeah.
it like we talked about. There are ways to do things. I have no issue with somebody saying, listen, bro, that wasn't it for me, right? Because there were certain parts of it that didn't necessarily work for me, but I don't think the performance was whack. And then I rewatched it the second time and then things popped out a little bit more. I love because anytime you're dealing with Kendrick Lamar, you're in a college class because you're
Yes.
going to get extreme breakdowns. You're going to get the symbolisms of things, even if Kendrick didn't think that this was a symbolism of something. Somebody else is going to make it be symbolism for something.
Somebody else, though, they got layers. People make it seem like everything that he do is a triple entendre, bro.
Yeah. And so for that aspect, I love that regardless whether you liked it or didn't, the conversation is out there about the halftime show. Because even, I mean, you had somebody who is universally loved as Usher, and there was still people who had issues with Usher's Super Bowl performance. You got to understand these people have 12 minutes and they got to squeeze their whole discography into this 12 minutes. Uh, and so I thought all of the symbolisms of having Samuel Jackson out there and the fact that 45, 47 was there, got to see it. So it's just like there was a lot going on. And salute to Kendrick for what the vision he had and what they put together.
Here's the thing I think. This is the one thing I can understand, right? Yeah, this is the I think that what I found that how like how some people, right? Some people just cringe when they hear the word, like certain words. People hear moist. Some people just moist, right? Well, I think that to certain people, woke is like they're moist, right? And so I think that what's crazy about it is that when you see somebody who's like Kendrick and you're doing something that they consider to be woke, right? And you're doing it at a point where you just like, I just want to watch football, bro. I don't care for anything to be political. I don't care for none of that or whatever. I want to be entertained without necessarily having to have it political and everything like that. I guess on some level I can understand, right? But I think that the part that you make a good point on is when it kind of brings in race about it, right? Because it's like, don't get me wrong. You said something. You said that a universally recognized artist like Usher, right? Maybe he's that to us, but to other people, that might not be the case, right? There
That,
could
that's
very well be that we
that very
yeah
much
we
is
still
the case for Kendrick. Like there were people literally at work that was like, I don't know who that guy was, and I didn't
yes
understand him. Like they were like, I didn't understand what he was even saying.
yeah
And they were comparing him to like one of the new, like one of the new people doing music. And was
yeah
and I'm like, he's not. He's one of us. You know what I'm saying?
yeah
So
yeah yeah. So I don't
he's
know.
not universal. Like this is the thing, right? We had a big discussion today at lunch as far as like how because why people were so surprised that he was able to get off some of the stuff that he got off with Pepsi being a sponsor, with the Super Bowl and the NFL, and because you have to submit your track list and your lyrics uh days in advance, and it has to be approved by lawyers and this thing, this, that, and the other. So the fact that he like literally called Drake's name, the fact that he did say the stuff within the uh within the song, like it's wild, bro.
Hey, Skippy, this is the thing I think, I've said this before, right? And this is another, like I said, repeat of. Dog, you know how crazy it is that this man has set a not unprecedented climb or hit, but it's one of those historic songs. He made a historic moment about calling you a PDF. And then it's a billion stream song that then won the highest accolade that you can get as a songwriter, right? And then you put them in front of 128 million people, the most viewed television event in American history. 128 people are watching. All the people in the stadium saying that part that they were waiting for, right? And it's kidding. I'm just like, bro, I just think that, listen, I think that only Drake can recover from it.
Yeah.
There is very many other people who could. I think he's big enough to recover for it. But bro, to have a song so wildly popular about you being a PDF is really insane. So when you really think about that, though, bro, right? Like this whole song is basically dedicated to you being a PDF, and everybody knows the words to it, though, bro. Like you think about that, though. How there are very few songs, rap songs, that the average person knows all the lyrics to. That might be one of those ones.
Well, it's almost like Murder Inc., right? When 50 came out with In the Club and all the things to destroy destroy Murder Inc., and they essentially dissolved after that, right? Like you said, Drake can come back from this.
I think Drake can.
And
I
I
think
mean,
that
he's
Drake is
he's
big enough.
successfully on tour right now. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting his stuff off in the tours because every time he says something, like he changed some lyrics in a song that's talking about LeBron, and I'm sure his DMs was on fire when Serena was sea walking, when everything with the Super Bowl. He might not have been in the country, but he know everything that happened on that Super Bowl performance, bro.
Hey, listen, man. I thought that overall, the one thing I think here's the thing that I think that we probably I'm curious to know what you think. I thought all the commercials was trash, bro.
I see. I disagree.
All of them. I didn't see it. I didn't see a particular one The only one that I thought that was interesting, and it was a weird interesting, was the one with the seal that looked like seal.
Yeah, seal to seal.
Yeah, but other than that, though, I thought all of them was just. I thought they was like regular commercials. It was no groundbreaking one that I would say like, man, like the first time you saw Puppy Monkey Baby,
Yeah.
or and nothing at all that I'm just like, eh.
I mean, I see. I guess I watch stuff differently because all I'm saying is I just enjoyed the event, like the commercials I got to see. Because my thing is, I really didn't get to watch intently this year because I was taking care of Sarah during the Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
I missed a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But for the stuff that I got to see, I was entertained. Am I saying that there was some groundbreaking commercials that I can quote to the T? No. Do I think there was? But there was some funny ones. I did like the one with the Green Goblin where they was playing them people, because you know pickleball is a big thing. So the one where they played for them Coors Lights or the whatever beer that they was playing for, I thought that was pretty funny.
I
But
don't even remember it, bro.
but yeah, ultimately, like I said, I don't think there was nothing just ground earth shattering with the commercials, but I still
I
was
still
entertained.
watched it. Don't get me wrong. I watched it all the way. Like I caught the last. Listen, by the time I walked in, they were doing the coin flip. Right. That's how much I was stumbling on at the last minute. And I watched it from that point all the way until the very end of the game, though, man. So, like I said, I enjoyed it in terms of. Listen, they got my view, all of it, 100% from it, though, man. And so, like I said, I enjoyed it. I think that, like you said, I was very much into like, let me just enjoy the spectacle, let me enjoy it as an event, and it was cool. I thought that it was good. I can totally see why it had as many views as it did, because you had the dynamic of maybe Philly building a rivalry versus people getting tired of seeing Kansas City, right? Um, I don't know, man. I thought it was great. I thought
Yeah.
everything about it was great. It was great.
Nobody expected to see him get sacked that many times or all the interceptions he threw. Nobody was expecting
No,
that.
no,
All right,
no,
man.
nobody.
Who won the trades for the NBA, bro?
Listen, the last time we had this conversation, I think that I mentioned that I thought the Mavs won the trade, right? Because we could get all the way back into the Luka conversation, but we can skip it for now.
Yeah.
I thought that the Mavs won, and I thought so all the way up until a couple of days, and then I see AD comes out and he is balled out, right? I was like, oh yeah, the Mavs clearly. Luka comes out there the other day and did his thing, and I was like, okay, he still looked fat, but he ain't that. It looks like he always looks, though, right? Then I also saw AD got hurt, non-contact injury, and I said, see, that right there is that. The Mavs are about to experience the Anthony Davis experience for themselves, where you get all of the good, all of the great, brilliant talent, but then you also get someone who seemingly is built out of paper mache, bro.
Okay. Now let me shoot AD some bell, because I would have agreed with you if that's where the story stopped. But it's not just AD. Dallas is plagued with injuries right now. They may need to
Sure.
take a look. They might need to take a look at their medical staff, bro.
AD, listen, did you see the injury from AD?
Yeah.
He isn't like he just breathed too hard. Like it was almost like,
Yeah.
like it
But
was like nobody was around him, bro. It
right,
was it
but
was when they say non-contact, nobody.
no, I get it. But his injury also is stemming from the injury he had prior to coming from the Lakers. It was
Well,
it was a symptom off of it. But again, take that out the way. Kyrie's got a disc thing going on that he can go out at any time. Gafford just went out. Lively ankle is broke. He out. And then there's another person that they had that they are plagued with injuries right now. Like it's looking bad for the
I don't
Mavs
want to
right
hear it.
now.
I don't want to hear it. Listen, the Pelicans had 5 guys that were out. 5 or 6 of their I think at one point the Pelicans only had one starter from their original season starting lineup left out there though, bro. I don't want to hear that. And listen, my thing is that for Lively, I can totally understand that. Hey, you broke your foot. There ain't nothing you can really do about that. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing at all that AD can do that he just breathed too hard, right? And sometimes I like, bro, AD looked like he got shot, bro. And I've been watching Bass Reeves, right? I finally started watching that, and I always die laughing because there's this thing about Western movies when someone gets shot, the West dying like Western, and they do this all throughout this, the Western death. AD looked like somebody shot him with a revolver, bro. The way he just grabbed his stomach, it was just. Listen, listen, man. And then I find out that Joel Embiid also is now out indefinitely, bro.
Yeah. Hey, what about Jimmy Buckets, man? How he look with the Golden State Warriors?
He looked as reinvigorated as he should. He hasn't been playing, so he should look fresh. I saw a stat that said, and this just goes to show you how Golden State played. It said Jimmy Butler is the first Golden State Warrior to shoot 13 free throws in like consecutive games since Kevin Durant. And it's just because all the boys do is shoot threes, right? And no one who can drive. They've never had anybody who goes to the basket that play off the ball. So it's like, yeah, the fact that Jimmy Butler is the first one of 13 free throws in consecutive games is crazy to me, though, bro. So I don't know, man.
Did you happen to see Luka and LeBron play? Did you watch the highlights at least?
I saw the highlights of it.
What you think?
Listen, I still think what I think. Like it didn't change what I think. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
They did go ahead and release Christian Wood, and they picked up some 7-footer.
I didn't even know Christian Wood was even on the team. I didn't know he was still in the league, bro.
Right, and that's the crazy thing because Christian Wood he went to the Lakers and died, bro. Because
he was a hooper in the Rockets, though, in Houston.
He was a hooper when he was in Dallas.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because I was I wanted the Thunder to get him. I was like, oh, he would be great as a young center for the Thunder.
Well, listen, he ain't young no more either, though, boy. And I think that the bad part about it is this, though. Like a lot of people said, I think that maybe it's because when he played for the Rockets, you had more free range because the team was sorry. So then you had less because you were out there in Dallas because he thrived when Luka was hurt, right? And so then when Luka came back, then it's like his numbers kind of fell back. And I think that he could be good. I think that he's just always a product of who he's actually playing with. If he's on a team that's a lesser team, I think that he shines because he can do his thing. But I completely forgot about it. I didn't know that he was even on the Lakers team.
Yeah, but yeah, they released him. And like I said, they picked up a 7-footer because of their trade failed with Mario Williams. And actually the Hornets are fighting, trying to appeal that they don't agree with the medical findings of the Lakers. So they still trying to appeal it. It's just a weird situation. But
and listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels like the Hornets. There's no way the Hornets did. And I'm gonna keep it a stack. It feels like on the cool. I kind of low key feel like the Hornets was like trying to pull a fast one. Like they tried to finesse the Lakers on that.
They didn't because the Lakers knew of his back stuff prior to the trade. They're saying that their medical findings aren't even about the back because they knew about the back stuff and they were still willing to give up all that stuff for him. So the Hornets wasn't trying to pull no fast one on him.
Listen, I think that the Hornets. Listen, maybe the Hornets.
This is why I would say that because the Hornets never reached out to the Lakers about trading him. The Lakers reached out to them, and when they was giving all of that stuff, then the Hornets was like, "Well, shoot, we can't pass this up." That they approached them. So that's
my thing, though. Here's the reason why I'm saying. Because if he's averaging 16-9, and he's like under 22 years old, basically though. So ideally, right, you would think that he's under 23. I think he may be barely 23. But you would think at 23, he's averaging 16-9, that he got potential to average more. And I think that the Hornets, I feel like for you to let him go with, even though they said, hey, is he available? Yeah, just give up, boom, 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 but we can make that happen though. I just think that for that kind of size and that scoring at such a young age, he hasn't been a starter very long, right? So I just feel like you gonna come and give up some. And don't get me wrong, I think Dalton Connect was an excellent pickup for them. If you're saying, hey, I got some shooters and I'm gonna surround, ball. Well, I get that though.
But let me
But
ask
it's just like,
if
mhm.
you, as a GM, knew that a player has only played 47 games in the last 2 years, would you be willing to give up all of that stuff to Lakers?
I would not if I was a Laker. I wouldn't have either. So if you're the
That's
Hornets, you thinking like, well, you can come get them, right? I can see
that's
why
what
the
I'm
Hornets
saying.
do
So
it.
that's why I'm like, that's not on the Hornets.
But
What I'm
I
saying
get that
is,
the Hornets, but I just think that the Hornets also, I just feel like the Hornets also knew not just the back stuff, but I thought that the Hornets probably also thought that there was some more stuff going on. I think
either
that they knew
way,
they had to know.
either way though, the Hornets didn't reach out to the Lakers. The Lakers reached out to them. So what I'm saying is,
Right.
just off the general question, off of, if you're a general manager looking for a player, if I know that you're a young guy, and within the last 2 years you've only played 47 games, that's a red flag for me.
I think that the Lakers thought, well, all right, here's the injury report on him. We can deal with this, right? I think that what the Lakers are probably finding out is that once they did their own independent research, the severity of it and the other stuff. That's what I'm saying. So I don't remember. The Hornets probably think like, yeah, he has a back problem. They didn't know how bad it was, right? And that's what I'm saying. So I don't know, bro. Like I'm not saying that. It feels like they was trying to finesse the Lakers, though, bro.
Let's say that's what I'm saying, and that's where we disagree. I don't feel like it was a finesse. I feel like, listen, you called me, bro. Like, we wasn't even shopping this dude. We weren't like, we didn't even have him out there because here's the thing. This is how you know, right? Pelinka already said, yo, the center market is dry, right? They should have went after Nurkic because he was just sitting over there in Phoenix, and they could have got him for the low ski.
Where did he go?
He went to, I forgot where he got traded to, but he got traded. I
Send
think,
him to the Wizards.
yeah. But either way, I'm just saying, if you reached out to me and you know this dude's history as far as like him being young and the fact that he only played 47 games within the last 2 years, nah, bro, that's on you.
I understand. But I just think that once they actually got their own stuff evaluation, it was like, y'all ain't trying to tell us all that.
Yeah.
That's just like you buy. That's like, to me, that's like you buying a slight. Somebody said, yeah, let me give you a slightly used car, right? And it's running. You know what I'm saying? You can drive it right now. But then you know what I'm saying? You about to sell it, and then you find your own mechanic, and they say, hey man, this transmission about to go out in this car any minute. And I'm like, yeah, you can drive it up the block now. It runs, right? That's what I think, that they try to do that kind of finesse to me. Like, never mind, and the people who you buying the car be like, hey, you came here to buy this car. No, I ain't call you about this.
Yeah,
So
but you also, that's a car lot. They was trying to sell it. Again, it'd be different if what I'm saying is, if Mario was even on, if they had put it out to teams like, yo, we trying to trade for your boy. That wasn't the case. The Lakers just called and said, hey, if we were hypothetically trying to do this, would y'all be willing to entertain? And then it was like, well, we wasn't even thinking about that. But I mean, shoot, if y'all trying to offer all of that, then yeah, we'll take him. He wasn't on the trade docket. Either way, we agree to disagree. What you got going for this week, bro?
Man, so this week, I'm still in the lab. I'm back in. So the crazy thing, man, is that I've been really on my producing vibe here, though, bro. So I've been trying to ride this creative wave here, man. I was dabbling today with some ideas, finishing up ideas. So man, I'm in the studio this week, real heavy.
That's what's up. Same schedule for me right now. There's hasn't quite been a change yet for Sarah, so it's still just very much, I'm just sticking and moving, as far as like taking care of things at home and then headed to the hospital. So no real change yet. I'm I'll be so glad when we can get her home and I can get back in the studio and get things finished up. But that's pretty much it for me right now. But look, man, we are the Slash Brothers, and we appreciate y'all for joining us from ATL to OKC. We are the Slash Brothers, and we'll see you next time. Ain't the thing.